Hi, and welcome to our Thursday review session with No Bones About It, Puppy Day School and Teen Training. So I want to just quickly review some of the basics of how we are teaching Leave It. I'm going to go through it with the beginner dogs, with the Puppy Day School dogs, and then with the Teen Training dogs. But we start out with a concept called It's Your Choice. And I just want to be really clear about how this morphs into Leave It. So the way that we do this is if you think about positive reinforcement training, the way that it works is that the dog has to see the value. Something has to be rewarding in it for the dog to want to repeat that behavior. So with things like leave it or drop it, inherently there's a problem because we're asking the dog to give up something that they want. So we have to start out in a way where it's very clear to them, it's absolutely black and white, that they win in this situation.
Yeah, there you go.
We start off and I have a handful of maybe 3 pieces of kibble. And the concept is that all I'm doing is closing my fist when the dog tries to get it. In the beginning, all they do is try to get it. So there's a lot of pawing, there's a lot of barking, scratching at my hand. When they start to back off, I open my hand, but I'm ready to close it really quickly because as soon as I open it, they're gonna dive back in. So you'll see this in action. When do I decide to pick up a treat and reward the dog? As soon as they back away, if I can open my hand and they're pulling away and I can reach in and they're still not trying to get to that treat, they're gonna get to take it. And all of a sudden this light bulb's gonna go off after a couple times where they're gonna say, wow, all I have to do is not try to steal it and I get it. So that's sort of the basics of how we start. And each of them, if they're really, really food motivated dogs, meaning more so the Goldens, they are really, this is hard for them in the beginning, and then they slowly start to catch on. And once they do, then we start to transfer this to other skills. We don't start using the word leave it until I have the It's Your Choice, the silent version, in a way where I can put treats on the ground, I can drop treats on the ground, I can put them out in my hand, and the dog isn't even thinking about going for it. At that point, they're already doing leave it. So I don't want to ever have to be in a position where I'm yelling, leave it, leave it. The dog just knows when there's something valuable, I need to check in with you. So that later down the road, when we're out and about, the dog's choice isn't who can get there first, but, oh my gosh, there's something in there, and your dog, or even in the house, I'm cooking, I drop something on the ground. What does my dog do? Do we race to see who gets there first? No, my dog should know, and we practice in the house also. I drop things when I'm cooking intentionally, and I'll tell the dog leave it. If they leave it, I'll pick it up and I'll give them a different reward. So they really start to expand that cue to lots of different areas. All right, so let's see this in action. Today we are working with Rosie on the foundations for leave it. Okay? Leave it is kind of one of my top 5 behaviors. I mean, recall is always number 1. I like go to your place, but leave it is so essential. We need to teach a puppy that stealing things that they want or find is not a good behavior. Rosie. So what we do is we start off with this game we call It's Your Choice. We take a bunch of food and we put it in our hand, and we do kind of this open bar, closed bar situation where if the dog starts to steal something, the bar gets closed. If they don't try to steal it, it becomes open and they get rewarded. But she needs to be able to not take things out of my hand. Hey, Rosie. And she's doing what a lot of dogs will do, which is like, oh, I don't care about this as much, and I'm just going to walk away if I don't get what I want right away. Take it. So I'm going to try to speed things up for her and get her to understand. You're going to get that. It's just you gotta not try to steal it out of my hand. Take it. So what I'm going to do with this open bar situation is I'm going to pick up a piece of kibble, take it, and hand it to her and tell her take it as long as she's not trying to steal it. If she gets back in there, I close my hand again, close the bar. Come here. Okay. want to re-entice her if she just decides to walk off and stop playing the game, because sometimes dogs just get frustrated and bored. And they're like, you know what? I'm out of here. So I kind of re-engage her. Take it. So you see how the only time she gets a take it is when she allows me to reach into this hand, take it, and she doesn't stick her nose right in my fist. Okay, so if she really goes, she needs to keep that forward motion from happening. Take it. So that was perfect. So that's version number 1, which is in my hand. Me controlling those treats in my hand. Version number 2 is that I'm going to take those treats and I'm just going to put them on the ground and I'm going to kind of cover them up with my hand. This becomes a lot more difficult for some puppies. Shh, shh, shh. Hey, enough. I know. It becomes a lot more difficult because most dogs think once something's on the ground, it's fair game. Same idea. I need to be able to reach in there and not have forward motion. Take it. Good. Take it. And I'll come rapid fire if the dog isn't making any movements. I'll pull back a little bit, make this harder, because I'm clearly not guarding that pile. Take it. Take it. Take it. Good. So, take it. Good job, Rosie. You're so smart. So that was really good for round number 1. And I will show you over the next few training sessions how we morph this into actually using the word leave it. But for right now, this is a silent version. It's a game of figure out that in order to win, you need to practice self-control and not steal stuff. No words for this part of the exercise. And by Thursday, we're going to have a pretty solid leave it in a very controlled situation. All right, good job. Here we are with Rosie. So we're practicing leave it. So we've got our handful of treats. Okay, so if she moves in towards it, as I move my hand, I'm just going to pull my hand back up. That's good. Take it. Want to keep those treats right at her nose level. Another really important point about this is we're never pulling the treats away. It's just an open, close scenario. So we're never doing this. Leave it. Using the word and pulling stuff away. This has to be totally your puppy's choice. So this is great. She's doing such a good job. Take it. It's right at her nose level. And then we're going to move to the ground. Put it right in front of her. And again, when we start off, most of the time these puppies are in a stationary position. It's easier for them to be successful. Take it. I'd like for her to pull a little bit further away from this, but for right now, that's good. That's much nicer. Take it. Well, good girl. Well, good girl. So I'm going to put a couple another pile of yummy treats down there. Again, I'm going to have my body pull out of the picture a little bit and make sure that the dog can use my foot to sort of cover them. The dog goes in. Very nice. Take it. I'm going to drop one of these, add a little movement. Okay, again, that makes it a little bit harder. Take it. Yes, take it. Take it. Very nice. Take it. Okay, then I can move to standing up. What happens if I put some space between myself and the dog? Again, being ready to cover back up that treat if I need to. I'm going to drop this from here, and I'm going to add the word leave it. Leave it. Very nice. Take it. Leave it. Ooh, that one rolled very dangerously close, but very nice. And you know what I love? Thank you. That's very good. What I love is when the dog starts giving me eye contact. So they're not just staring at that pile of treats. They're understanding that the value comes from ignoring this thing and looking at me to find out when they get rewarded. That's a really good sign. So she's doing great with this. And I love teaching this It's Your Choice game because, again, it also, to me, points out the value of not using any words. A lot of dog training is simply cause and effect. If I do this, what happens? And when you realize it's not so much about how we are saying things all the time. Yes, we want to be able to give cues. Yes, we want to be able to elicit certain behaviors. But how the dog really learns is, if I do this, what happens? And how do I create scenarios where the dog finds value in performing certain behaviors? And so this is a great exercise to show you in a very fast way, usually, how that works. Rosie! Yes!
Good girl. Very nice. Coming away from her friends. Good job. Good job. Good job, Rosie. We're going to try this one more time. Leave it.
So I'm adding the word because she's pretty solid right now with all three of our versions that we've been doing. Take it. Leave it.